Kauru, koia panukunuku e rā e hine ia, raki e tama. Te Rua and Sons Pounamu trials, I guess it was just so whenever we needed the bread and butter, we'd always go into a couple of places in town and hit them up if they had any people that would be interested, and we didn't even have a set price on it. We'd get to the end of it and they'd say, how much do we owe you? And we'd say, well, it's up to you. Okay, so ko tēnei momo Pounamu he inaka, te ingoa o tēnei. So this here can be found just sitting here like that. Now, there doesn't look like there's anything different from mai tēnā kōhatsuki era atu ne. One would think he rite tonu te katoa. This one here is a little bit different. The colour of this one here is the colour of the sky. Beautiful, ne? Just about introducing people really to our culture as being Hautini Kaitahu, a guardian of the stone, and being able to share our life. Whakarongo ki tēnei. Listen to that high ring. Patu patu Pounamu e, patu patu Pounamu e. I guess over the last few years, it's probably really put the spotlight on trying to provide employment for our kids, not just for our own tamariki. You know, for a lot of kids out there that we see getting around with nephews, nieces, etc. It's a little bit of a way of also show them a little bit of guidance. Yeah, because it's something handed down over a number of generations. Us standing here with our father, him standing here with his father, and him standing there with his father, being able to hand that kōrero down, these special places down from one generation to another.
Growing up here, we all helped each other. Our whānau had this roof to paint. All of us around the pā will go over there. You know, many hands make light work. That's how I grew up. Now with not much work and everyone moving away, we sort of lose that a bit. This is our old marae. So this was opened in 1987, 1988. I was only a young fella then. Seen a lot of things happen in this place. We've had tangi here, birthday parties, wānanga, or hence the name Whare Wānanga. Always sort of happy memories here. We sort of left in a bit of a state after the whare was open. No one used it again. So I approached the runanga. Hey, what are you doing with that building? Needs some life in it. These are going up to the Oparara Arches in Karamea. It talks about a battle that happened up in that area and sort of how we gained that northern end of our takiwā. This is a tedious process, this. I'm contracted by our runanga to deliver carved works, I suppose, mahi toi. Because we haven't got many carved houses here, or any carved houses here on the West Coast, there's not really a reference for us to go off, if that makes sense. There's no old ones that we can compare our mahi to. So we've got a chance to develop our own style in a way, I suppose. Yeah, I find it hard getting help. Heaps of Pounamu carvers here, but not many wood. Now, I usually get all the black sheep here, or so-called black sheep. I pull them in. Lift people is what you do, you don't stand on them. Been a bit rough for the last few weeks. My son, he's just headed off to school. He's in Christchurch. And it just so happens he's real good at rugby and league, so the schools come headhunting him. Private school, but good for his education, you know. He may even gain skills to bring back to help his people here, you know. Yeah, it's all about that education now. But with the grounding, those are our teachings, you know, Māori. That's what I try and install in our rangatahi, and that kotahitanga will feel whānau first and foremost, you know. No one else is going to lift you up and give you a hand. And at the end of the day, they're the only ones you can really count on, you know. They'll be there to dig your hole when you die.
The untamed terrain of the West Coast has sustained Māori for generations. A favourite saying here is, you don't need a supermarket. Pautini Kaitahu know they've got something pretty special. It's a different pace, a different way of living, and a deep connection to the taiao around them.
Ko te awa, ko te awa. Oh, the awa is our playground. It's the life force of our people. Taonga within it as well. Ko te inaka, ko te kokopu, ko te tuna. She's cold. And not only the kai, but on a nice fine day, our awa will be crystal clear, and so we can drink from the awa, live from the awa, cook, clean, on the odd occasion bathe. Come on, my boy, we're gonna go catch an eel. Te tira, ki te awa. Aye. But in my younger years, I moved around a lot, but the coast has always been home. There's not too many people that can keep up with me with bare feet. I had a dream to one day retire here on the West Coast. Managed to tick that box off quite early. Well, there's a few techniques you can use for catching an eel. This is the old set and leave it technique. If I took the nieces and nephews out, we usually bring a spare and be a bit more selective on which ones we would take. I often get told, gee, it's so isolated down here. But we have State Highway 6 run straight past my house. So if you want to go left or right, you're going to end up in a city. So we're not that isolated. Just tying it off on a tree, the old handy tree. What makes it really special for me is that when you look around, everything stands still, nothing's in a rush. Our Mondays are the same as our Fridays. It's a beautiful thing to be able to bring my boy up on beautiful whenua like this. I'm able to teach him mahina kai, because I believe that if I teach him mahina kai mahi on our whenua, then the rest of the world can teach him mahina kai in the town. Te tiro, ki roto I te wai. Te kaitaki. Ooh. There aren't a lot of whānau practicing our tikanga here on our whenua, so I guess I'm just living proof, you know. Now we just need a kawai. Eesh. I felt in the city I was just surviving. Moved back to my papakainga and ended up thriving.
So just over 2 weeks ago, we were blessed with my beautiful baby boy. Ko Tiniura tūtoko te heke ka whā tāna ikoa. So his name is Tiniura, which is my partner's great-grandfather's name. And then Tūtoko is one of our big chiefs down here. He was one of the last pushers of that Potini conquest. So we were based in Rotorua or Manapōuri on a kaupapa down there, but we, decided to move on. And our pā can move, our whānau can move, but it doesn't change the whakaro and the whanaukau taka that our pā carries. But the importance of bringing it home to this whenua, just to give them both those exposure, not only to the whānau and to the whenua and to the sandflies, but just to their place.
There's no doubt the West Coast is a geological wonderland, where riches flow from the majestic mountains down braided rivers. But while Pounamu and gold are well known, there are other lesser known taonga specific to this rohe.
Oh, tēnā koe, taku tamahine.
Gentle.
gentle. Oh, Yolakihi. Most potent in Kaitahu. You know, we got a stash of stones and things like that. All right, so we've got a few different pieces down here. We've got some nice pieces from off the Tahutahi River or the Cascade. And then we've got some pieces of Altair that have all come off the Makawhio. I think you remember everyone you find. Where you were, what the day was like, what you were thinking about. Tahine Altair is one of our pounamu. Obviously it's not green, it's blue. And in terms of density, it's a lot softer than pounamu. So it wasn't used as much for tools and for weaponry, but more for ornamental use. And it only comes from the Makawhio. Oh, beautiful, eh? It's probably the most I've found in a long, long time. And that's the mahi of our tectonic plates. All of that pressure of grinding and pushing these chemicals together over thousands of years and then pop up through our mocha. I'm the first human hands to touch this piece of fire to this altar. And then where it will go from me, it's just starting the next part of its journey.
As a young fella, I walked the awa looking for pounamu. That was my background. My father traded and gathered pounamu for many years. So when I made the transition through to Altair, it come naturally. Hene Altair is one of our identities as Kati Mahaki. It's a tino taonga to my people. My whānau, we do believe that Altair had healing properties. I wouldn't say physical, but more spiritual. It's definitely calmed my wairua a lot. I always thought it was a shame that it sat on the awa and didn't really have a real purpose. I'd visit my whānau's whares and it would just be sitting on the windowsill, the old famous doorstop. So working with my hapu, I was given the opportunity to be able to gather and work our beautiful taonga. There was not a lot known about the stone in terms of carving, so pretty much everything that I've done with the taonga is one big learning curve.
After decades of pushing to right the wrongs of the past, Hautini Kaitahu have made great progress. But there is still mahi to do, and mana whenua are still fighting to have the history of this land recognised.
I've never swum here. We were told not to. This place is a bit of a wahi tapu for my people. It's actually quite emotional, to be honest with you. Because you can see cars and people obviously out here fishing when a huge battle happened here. Kaitahu brought a war party over on the east coast, across the Kātiriti or Te Moana, the Southern Alps. And they came up the Hokitika River, and there's a little wee creek, to Whariwhari, and they had a mokihi, their little canoes, and they were trying to sneak up here to attack. And a tohunga named Tuaroa o Tarangi of Kāti Wairaki, he done a karakia, and a storm came about and tipped the mokihi over. And basically all these toa got killed. One chief, Hika Tutai, who was one of the only survivors, he stayed behind after the battle to collect the heads of his chiefs. He didn't want the enemy to desecrate them. And he came up the Hokitika River, carrying the heads all the way back to the east coast. Back in those days, the custom was the way you come in battle, you got to return the same way. And so that's how the Hokitika got its name, because it means to return in a straight line. It was due to this battle that happened here.
There they are. Must have come on a bus or something. There'll be a tour guide. Go and talk to the tour guide and explain where they are. And they'll ring the police. There's a radical out the lake.
Hello?
Hi. Do you do the PPTT stuff?
Yes, I do. Yep. How can I help you?
I wanted a copy of a submission. One about Lake Mahanapua. My submission's in, right? And it goes for a hearing, right?
Yes.
I just want to talk to that board about what's happening out here at the lake for the last 100 years. Come on. It's a cemetery. They shouldn't be doing all of this. The regional council and DOC been told that for a long time. They know this. They don't care because this should be shared to everybody. What do you mean your Maori's got a cemetery here? The cemetery in Hokitika, they don't go and have a picnic there. They don't go and play and have fun and just because it's not like their cemetery means they're allowed to do it. All I've ever wanted was to talk to the people that make the decision. Whether it's in a hearing or just sometimes so I can speak to these decision makers and explain to them how I feel. And then once they understand how I feel, they can go and make whatever decisions they like. I want that whoever turns up here understands they're at a cemetery. And if they want to go and eat lunch in a cemetery, they can. If they want to go and swim in a cemetery, they can. They should know before they go out there the truth about here.
I hope one day that we can come out here and people respect this place for what it truly represents to a Kati Waiwai. And that's basically a wahitapu. It should be made a site where, yep, you can come and visit, but don't trample over this place.
When the Arahura purchase deed was signed, our people became disassociated with their lands. 82% of the entire DOC estate is in Te Waiponamu, and only 6% of Māori access public conservation lands.
Come on, Moko. Tami tu tawi. Come on, let's go for the hikoi.
Hikoi Waiwai was about getting local Māori out onto the DOC estate. So that's a poof. You can eat those. They get quite big. So my tawa taught me about the river and the Pounamu, and a lot of the stuff with the plants and the fungi is only since we started Hikoi Waiwai. So Hikoi Waiwai covered all those things that people wanted. Some wanted to lose weight, some wanted to learn some pūrākau and whakapapa. We walk on a range of different tracks around Westland, and we can tailor our tours to suit your time frame, group size and budget. So it's opened it up to anybody. We do quite a bit of scutching over at the beach, and these ones we just give away to people after the tours, just as a memento from spending some time with Hikoi Waiwai. So I found out about a website that we could register our company on, and it's the Development West Coast website.
So how have you been anyway?
Busy. Did I tell you I got our first tour through the website?
That's fantastic.
Yes.
Awesome.
So Wednesday, I took a whānau from Adelaide.
Just so happy that things are starting to move for you, and especially because I do think what you've got is pretty special. The resource here within Te Taipōtini that your hapu has got is a beautiful resource, and I'm just wanting to make sure that as individual Māori owners that you're able to capitalise on that opportunity as best you can.
One of our main goals is for people to leave us having an understanding of how we look at Papatūānuku hoping they go off and go on their travels and be stewards of their natural and living environments wherever they go.
After fighting for so many years to hold their place on this whenua, Pautini Kaitahu are looking to the future and building a succession plan for the next generation.
So remember, don't stand over the harakeke. All your scrap bits, keep them all close, okay?
So you're going to get this bit here, and you're going to pull there. Hey, tēnei wiki, we've got a holiday program happening, the Ngāi Tahu Fund for Ngāi Tahu Tamariki.
Have to go down again and come forward.
Started off, I think we only had like 20 kids, and as the years have gone by, we've gotten more and more.
2, back on your stance. Tokoroto. Perfect.
Majority of the focus on our holiday program is learning about marae, manaakitanga, whanaungatanga. We have a lot of rangatahi that actually didn't realise that their cousin was just living next door, things like that. So that's it really, just all about whanaungatanga, kotaitanga, hanging out with the cousins.
E rongo ho mai ngā tipu hei whakaki te tinana hei oranga au eke hui e tai ki e.
Kua te kaumā whā tau, ahau e mahi ana ki tēnei āhuatanga, I nā nei, kua huri te aro ki ngā rangatahi kei te ara mai tō rātou pakupakutanga, I tīmata ki roto I ēnei mahi, I katahi, kua ahua te kaumā waru o rātou pakeke. Ka waiho ake mā rātou, ngā mahi hei kawe, nō reira, he tīmatanga tēnei.
3, 2, 1, holiday goes to this group.
Holiday programs, to me, they build leadership, and if our rangatahi get on board and continue this, hopefully these ones will follow their legacy and carry on our kaupapa.
For the descendants of Tūhuru and Papakura, all eyes are now on the future, and it's a future on their terms. One that embraces the pūrākau and mātauraka of their tipuna, lifts up the next generation, and celebrates what it is to be Māori on te tai o Pautini.
So my hope for the future is just to be able to see my younger whānau, niece, nephews, cousins, being able to come back to their tūranga waiwai, to their whenua, and being able to live mahakitanga. Boom. Kai gathering and just offering another path in life, eh?
Our tipuna, you lived your life, and then the things that you learnt throughout your life, you hand on down. And I guess they had, their kōrero and their mātauraka from their tipuna. For my tamariki, I'd like our tikanga, our practices to be, standard. Not just something you pull out at the marae, that it's, actually a way of life. To say, we are Māori, our blood is in this whenua, our people are on this whenua, and our people will be forever on this whenua.
Nā mihi kia tātou. A tātou, kua hui nei, tēnei rā, whakanui e te rā whānau a hinare, rua te kaumātahi. What drives us is our tamariki, our mokopuna, our future, then being able to enjoy something that we never got to grow up with. Both hapu here, up and down the coast, we've got a really, really good future, and been able to put some really, really good things in place so that, our tamariki and our mokopuna are more richer in their culture, in their reo, and their tikanga. because they're the ones that are going to be here tomorrow when we pass. The future's looking quite promising.